Okay, I hope this okay. Uh, the Zoom says that this video file format is not supported. Please give me some minutes. I will just check why it's not being supported. Or maybe because it's too long, therefore it's not supported. It should have supported. Just give me a few seconds. I'll check. Uh, Unsupported format. Uh, Anyways,
Happy with the subject matter with Yashoda Priya introduced. What would Srila Prabhupada do? Day-to-day practical tips. So I'm very inspired really to spend this time with you, and I really want to say when I came to Krishna consciousness, this concept of following the footsteps of a great soul made a lot of sense to me. See, my ancestors come from Sweden, which is most of the time, and not most of the time, but during the winter time, covered by snow. And everything looks really the same. You have no orientation where to go unless you find someone who knows the way and then walk behind their footsteps to the next place of human civilization. Being from this country and having heard about this situation that you need to follow guidance, you need to follow footsteps in order to get anywhere. Therefore, this subject matter made a lot of sense to me to learn what Srila Prabhupada did in a given situation and then follow his example in our situation, in our life. And by following his examples or his footsteps, one can very, very easily come to a result which one could not come on his or her own. So I'm most enthusiastic to spend this time with you, and I request you that we just let us offer our obeisances to organizing this time. I'm really missing you. And Part said we are here with our with Gaur Krishna. There is a rumor that Gaur Krishna has become a great yogi and is levitating now in our association. And I think it's good if you see him so that you can just have. He is here, he is intact. We feed him well. Haribo. Good. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatyadi Sadarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everybody please. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In my own life as a disciple, I always had the desire to meet very personally with Srila Prabhupada and receive very concrete personal instructions. And this time, where this was possible, came in a very, very surprising way into my life. Srila Prabhupada had visited us in Germany. At that time, we had taken a big castle as our temple, and we were able to supply him with the apartment which the master of the castle was using in ancient time. During the day, Srila Prabhupada was busy in his room to either write or receive guests. And in the morning and evening, he would give classes and do kirtan. Now, because Prabhupada was busy during the day, we were continuing our Sankirtan book distribution. We took after his lecture some prasadam and then went out all day. Only a few devotees remained back in the castle, and I was chosen to be Prabhupada's guard during this time. I would sit before his door and I would make sure that the devotees or people who would pass by his door, the large corridor, would not make noise so that he could do undisturbed. Now one day my good fortune blossomed. Satsvarup Maharaj, who was massaging him every day, had fever and looked for someone who could massage Srila Prabhupada. And somehow he found me before the door and he asked me, are you knowing how to massage? And I immediately and said, I think I'm the best massage person in all of Germany, although I had no idea what massage would bring with it. So he immediately invited me in and I stepped before Srila Prabhupada. He went out of the room because Prabhupada had told him, you have fever, you should rest. So I was standing alone before Srila Prabhupada, who looked at me, and he could see that I was his massage boy, but I think he could see right through me and understand I had no idea how to massage a person. So he looked at me with his all-knowing eyes, and I looked back and I froze, and I remember I started to perspire so much that underneath accumulated because I felt, oh no, he sees that I'm a pretender. Then Prabhupada looked at me and he said with his deep voice, "Just your service." I immediately got behind him and started to move my hands up his back in this way, because that's how he wanted his massage to start. And he said, "Harder." I pressed more. Prabhupada said, "Harder." I pressed really more. Then Prabhupada again said, "Harder, more." I pressed with all my weight. And then he looked at me and said, "What do you do for service?" He noticed that my grip was rather weak, not like a hero. I said to Srila Prabhupada, "I'm trying to translate your books." And immediately, when Srila Prabhupada saw that I was supporting him in what he considered so essential for his mission, his demeanor changed, and he asked, almost like you asked a colleague, "How many pages a day you do?" So I thought, well, let me give my best number, which I have reached maybe one time or twice in all this translating time. I said 12 pages. And he looked at me again with this all-knowing glance. And I again froze. He asked, "Really?" And I said, "Oh, Prabhupada, that was on my best day." What I understood at that moment is that I cannot lie to Srila Prabhupada. He is the representative of the super soul. That means he has access to everyone's heart and mind and sees it, just like you and me would see a written page, and he could read it. And from that moment I decided, yes, I better be truthful. He knows anyways everything. Then Prabhupada said, a disciple should be four things. And I felt he would now give me my life instructions. He said he should be a good student. He should learn. He should be a guru. He should teach or give what he has learned to others. He should be a water carrier. I later asked devotees, what is a water carrier? In this, is it an analogy for something? And I heard that water carrier means when in the village the well is dry, the water carrier will go to another well in a nearby village or to another reservoir of water, and he will have a mechanism, and that mechanism is not a mechanism. He will have something like, where you can fill water in, maybe buckets or maybe some other arrangement. And he brings water, which is so needed to the people of his village. A water carrier is a servant who helps others to go through difficult times. And finally, Prabhupada said a devotee should be a cook. With a cook, he meant one should be self-reliant, independent. So these are the 4 instructions which he gave me. The disciple, he said, should be a good student, should never stop to learn. He should be a guru, a spiritual teacher himself, either this in an official role or not in an official role, but you should help and instruct and guide others. He should be a water carrier. It is a sincere servant, bringing what is most needed. And he should be a cook, independent. So I'm very happy to say that during this meeting, Srila Prabhupada gave me what I so much craved for. That is instructions, personal instructions that would guide me through my life. Prabhupada was always like this. He was rooted in the spiritual reality, and he would help others with giving spiritual instructions. That was how he always was. He was like this when he was out in big gatherings lecturing, but he also was like this behind closed doors. When he would retire into his room, anyone who met him at that time would also get instructions like the instructions he gave me. He was never switched off from, and I will tell you a very interesting little story of the Prabhupada behind the closed doors, which I think we are all interested in. How was he privately as a person? I will talk about this a little later towards the end of my presentation. But here I want to start by saying these are the 4 instructions which Srila Prabhupada gave me personally. Of course, I receive a lot of instructions from his books and recorded lectures as a disciple, but here there was a personal meeting. There was also a very endearing detail. Prabhupada wanted me in the massage to crack his finger knuckles, I think they're called, by pulling the finger. And I started to do, I tried this, and with the little finger, the pinky, but I didn't want to pull harder. The Prabhupada said, harder. I said, no, Prabhupada, I can't do it. I'm afraid I will hurt you. No, this is very good. No, Prabhupada, according to medicine, this is not good. Who said? My mother. So Prabhupada let it go by. He did not want to go against the authority of my mother. He was very a traditional person. It is said in the scriptures, you may disobey many people. You may even disobey your father, but you can never disobey your mother. This is in the Dharma Shastras, on one level. Because the mother has carried you under her heart and given you life. It's a very special relationship. And she loves also us very much. So the question is, what would Srila Prabhupada do day to day practical tips? I want to focus today on 4 practical tips which Prabhupada illustrated with his life. I want to first talk about determination. In the 2nd canto, Prabhupada writes, an easygoing life and attainment in transcendental realization cannot go together. An easygoing life will never bring you to any transcendental realizations. You have to be willing to give it some effort. Um, effort or abhyasa should be done over a prolonged time span. Your effort should be uninterrupted. Say you're chanting, then you should chant through. And your efforts should be coupled with devotion and enthusiasm. Then you will be successful in whatever you do. If you do something very regularly over a prolonged amount of time, if you do it uninterrupted, and if you do it with devotion and enthusiasm. For me, Prabhupada's life spells out this determination in a very, very nice way. Prabhupada once told us, I personally was walking through fire for my Guru Maharaj. He was so determined. He could not be discouraged by any obstacles which came up or flared into his face, maybe like a fire flame. Let's look at some examples. When Prabhupada was a Grihastha, he had just finished to build up a little factory for producing medical items, tonics, pills, and so on, to help people. Prabhupada was always a water carrier. He was always trying to help. Even as a Grihastha, he was producing or making medicines and then selling them to the people, and in this way earn his life. So when he had just finished to build his factory, he had not yet insured it. It burned down. Imagine, he had put every cent which he had worked for, every rupee, you would better say, into this factory, and it just burned down, and he wouldn't get anything back from it because it was not insured. But Prabhupada just continued with his little business and was just unfazed, undisturbed, because he was so determined. For a determined person who, as I said, acts enthusiastically, there cannot be any obstacles. The material energy stands at the side and says, come, come, do your thing. An enthusiastic person will always be blessed by fortune, by good fortune. There's even a saying like this by Lakshmi Devi herself. An enthusiastic, determined person. Later, Srila Prabhupada went across the ocean to spread Krishna consciousness in the West. In his first place where he started with his mission was America. He first saw the Boston Harbor, and then he went to New York and came off the boat there. Now, on his journey, something happened which shows us a practical example of determination. What happened was narrated by Srila Prabhupada to one of his friends in Vrindavan, who was known as affectionately as Bhagaji. And this is what Prabhupada told him. When I was going by ship over the ocean, I suffered from a heart attack. All of a sudden, I could see coming towards our ship another ship. There was Krishna with his many incarnations or avatars coming on that second ship, which was coming towards the Jaladuta, the ship on which Srila Prabhupada was. And Krishna told Prabhupada, come with me now. But Srila Prabhupada's determination at that moment was just so strong that he said, no, please don't take me. I have not yet done my master's work. Referring to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his eternal spiritual master, who had given him this instruction. Just think about this for a moment. If Krishna comes personally to you and says, come along with me now, and you are elderly and you have a heart attack, where you don't know really if I will survive it. It's a very traumatic experience to have this heart arrest, And in this situation, Prabhupada said, no, I have not, please don't take me. I have not yet done my master's work. What determination. What great, great determination he had. My dear devotees, my dear friends, who are still hesitating maybe at times to surrender to Krishna fully. This determination is something so wonderful. It is necessary to have it in our big project. We may have projects like earning our livelihood. We may have projects which are related to our services, which we do. We may have plans for Pandavasena, but there's one big project which everyone who is born in the human form of life is born with. I call it the one project, the biggest project, that is to go back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada speaks about this project in the 4th canto, chapter 12, text 43. He says, my Guru Maharaj, Sri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, used to say that every one of his disciples could attain Vaikuntha Loka in this life without waiting for another life to execute devotional service. One simply has to become as serious and sincere as Dhruva Maharaj. Then it is quite possible to attain Vaikuntha Loka and go back home, back to Godhead in one life. Wow, what a project! Have you thought about this in relationship to your own life? So it's definitely something very big, something very great, something which is there. Thank you, Kapil.
Hare Krishna. So we heard a very wonderful and such powerful insights from Maharaj from this very small lecture. Although the lecture itself is 1.5 hours and we had 30 minutes. So let's discuss some of the wonderful qualities and contributions of Maharaj. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmaditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. His Holiness Sacinandana Swami Maharaj ki jai. So I will share with all of you one wonderful presentation made by devotees who, as usual, make these wonderful presentations. So, His Holiness Sachidanand Swami Maharaj, the global ambassador of the Holy Name. That's what Maharaj is known for. So, we'll just start with a little introduction of Maharaj. Who is Maharaj actually? Maharaj comes from Germany, and Maharaj has his preaching area is Germany and Europe, and he was born in Germany actually, and he's a very renowned sannyasi preacher and kirtaniya. You must have those who are very uh, very interested in kirtans. They must have heard Maharaj singing in so many kirtan melas, right? So very wonderful and deep kirtans by Maharaj, slow and deep. So Maharaj is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and as this word came, deep devotion for the holy name, powerful kirtans and contemplative teachings. That's what one of the major qualities of him, that he goes deep into simple statements, simple, like just he was highlighting that this life is a project that we are having. Now, can you imagine going back to Godhead in one lifetime? This is a project. So, like that, Maharaj is very deep in his reading, thinking, and analyzing the things. And Maharaj also represents ISKCON over various other uh, sampradayas. Also, he visits and various other trips he had done to various pilgrimages. So we'll talk about it. So Maharaj was born on Germany in 1955 as Wolfgang Dobler. From a young age, Maharaj had a deep interest in philosophy, spirituality, and inner dimension of life. So during the means his early childhood, Maharaj was born in a very rich family. His father was managing director of a multi-billionaire company related to railway something. So, and this was like his father was doing such a tremendous business. So, it was expected that Maharaj will also, as his son, Maharaj will also take up that responsibility. But from the beginning only, just like Raghunath Das Goswami, from the beginning only, Maharaj had not any interest in all these things. Although he was attending, going through all these things, his career and his teachings and schools, but his interest was not like that. It was very clear to him within his heart that this is not what he was looking for. Although everything was available to him, but still he thought that something is lacking. I am missing something. So although he went through everything, but he still uh, was very focused that this is not the path. And he was from the beginning only spiritual. As a child, what he was to do, there is an incident mentioned in Maharaj's biography. One time, sometimes Maharaj used to climb a very big tree, like tall tree, at the top. And what would happen? The fire brigade would come to bring him down from the tree. And when they will bring him down from the tree and ask him, why did you go so high up? Do you know what Mara said? Mara said, I wanted to be closer to God. That's why I went at such a height. So his mentality, you can see how like advanced he was from the beginning only, how spiritual seeker he was. So this quality was growing and growing all through when he went through his teenagers and early youth. So Maharaj then was exploring different paths. He met a Buddhist monk. He was seeing how he is doing tapasya. So he was influenced by that. He knew for sure that material life is not the way I'm going to lead my life. That is useless. So Maharaj was looking for this kind of thing, and he started to explore in this uh, direction. And gradually, when he started going and going inside, then he finally met ISKCON devotees. Uh, and then he, in 1970 around Maharaj was around very early age. He left his home around 16 years old when he left, and then he met the devotees and joined the ashram in ISKCON. And during 71, maybe he got initiated. Yeah, 71. So he received his initiation, and then yeah, and then, as we were hearing from him, he was narrating one incident of that castle, and he was asked to massage. So what he said, what the service he was going to do, he was going to translate Srila Prabhupada's books. So Maharaj had translated Srila Prabhupada's books in Germany, and also went for book distribution. So Maharaj, like this mission of Srila Prabhupada, you can see from the uh, this lecture of Maharaj, this mission of Srila Prabhupada, dedication to Guru, Maharaj accepted this very much, and he preached all over Europe and Germany using this. So what happened? Maharaj used to visit, like we distribute books. Then what Maharaj used to do? Maharaj used to visit those homes where he distributed that books. And in that way, the concept of Namahat preaching came into Germany and North European areas. And gradually increasing, this number went up to 30,000. Can you imagine? And Maharaj used to hold big retreats and festivals for that. So to further increase his commitment and responsibilities, Maharaj accepted sannyas in 1989, and then extensively preaching all over Europe, US, India, South America, and beyond. So Maharaj, as you can see by the realizations, Maharaj has a very simple technique to preach. He introduces the culture of Krishna consciousness to the people whom he teaches, and basics, very basics, he goes into deep how to actually follow. So his style is like he will discuss the things based on the authority of scriptures as well as his personal realization. That point also we noticed. Now we are having the association of His Holiness Bhakti Brihad Bhagwat Swami Maharaj. So these 5 days, previous 5 days, Maharaj was teaching us Japa Ashray course. So in the uh, whole course, Maharaj has nothing else except Srila Prabhupada's quote, but he will take up a single word and go deep into it, and also deal with some very practical realizations of his own that he has practiced from 30, 25 years, like that. Just imagine, you know? So that was a very wonderful. But similarly, Maharaj does retreats on holy name and leads people into practicing Krishna consciousness. Very genuine, and from the lotus face of Maharaj, you can see the bright effulgence coming and always smiling in spiritual transcendental bliss. So Maharaj has a major contribution in making these holy name retreats and kirtan melas. You must have known there are many books published by Maharaj. You can see the Gayatri book, the Naam Rahasya, Confidential Secrets, the Living Name. Uh, Holy name is just not a sound. It's a living presence. It's living, like that. Very deep analyzation, realization, basically we can say. Now broken names and all these things are based on the holy name. Deeply analyzing. Maharaj conduct these retreats in Govardhan or in Kartik month or whenever he comes, and through various other places. So yeah, we discussed how Maharaj has a personality. Maharaj is as a Vaishnava, very compassionate, introspection, and dedication in Krishna consciousness. He's highly loved and respected by all others. Maharaj is like leading many projects, farm communities in Europe, like Golok Dham, and a project in Europe, and he has preaching groups, or what you can say, Namhat groups, Gaurang Bhajan group, Nityanand Bhajan group, like that. So through Maharaj preaches very nicely. And here is a pastime with Srila Prabhupada of Maharaj. So in essence, Maharaj is very, very deeply spiritual, and really very attached to the holy name. Yeah. So we seek Maharaj's blessings that if he someday comes in a Jen also, let's see if we have that fortune. There is one remembrance of Srila Prabhupada by Maharaj. So you can, yeah, we can read just. So one day they were walking, morning walk, they were going on, and so many hippies were sleeping in Amsterdam. So then Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada were walking, and they came across a little bird, means baby bird, that was just about to fly, means it was trying to fly from its nest. So the bird was in a little confusion whether it should fly or not, and Srila Prabhupada was encouraging. And the bird tried to fly, and you know how it goes. So Srila Prabhupada turns to us and said, "How does the bird know how to fly?" So somebody said, "Instinct, Srila Prabhupada." Means it's automatically knows, like that. So who want to represent the modern scientist? And that person said like that. Srila Prabhupada immediately said, "That is just a name. You don't know, that's why you called it instinct. Or if you don't know how it works, then you called it automatic." Like that. So yeah. So whatever Prabhupada means, this the Lord as Paramatma is teaching in the heart of the bird how to fly actually. Uh, How does the calf know that what he has to, for drinking milk, what he has to do? We can see the calf knows where is milk and how he has to drink. Nobody has to teach him. Just like a small boy, baby, he also knows what he has to drink, like that. So whatever Srila Prabhupada saw, even a little bird making his first attempt to fly, he connected to Krishna. That was especially visible during morning walks. And the similar attitude or similar kind of nature is of Maharaj. He takes a simple, very simple. There is a seminar by Maharaj. I forgot the name, maybe the tree of devotion or something. Tree of devotion. I forgot. Krishna Mukund Prabhu was once telling me this seminar. I think Maharaj discussed it, and some other devotee gave that seminar, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, and he heard from that something tree. So he describes through the analogy the tree of life. Yes, the tree of life. So the whole life of a person he explains through the analogy of a tree. How the tree, its branches are there, what are the roots of the tree, how the tree gets nourishment, and all that's related to devotional service he was explaining. So Maharaj just takes a concept, and then it expands, he expands by his spiritual intelligence very much. So there are wonderful insights of Maharaj. He is very compassionate and merciful. So we pray to the lotus feet of all these wonderful Vaishnavas. They have served Srila Prabhupada and Krishna in such a wonderful way, dedicatedly. We may also dedicate ourselves and with same sincerity and seriousness accept the process of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai His Holiness, Sacinandana Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Hitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Om. Hare Krishna.